Hi everyone, welcome. I'm back. Last seen on the channel before I went camping.
Okay. Blue UFO. Oh my god. Guys, watch this. Please, God, let me get it. Please. There it is. Yep. Oh. Never in my life, guys, did I see this. Look how fast that is. What the living hell?
A fast-moving UFO that appears absolutely out of nowhere, changes directions twice, and I was able to catch it.
Oh. Is it getting invisible? I'm seeing flashes. Oh. There's two of them following each other, right? There's two in frame now. Oh, three. One, two crossing there, and one down there. Wow.
I'm so happy to say I have another fast-moving UFO that I caught just last summer. These take long to accumulate in data.
Holy shit, guys. There you go. First one I've ever seen in my freaking life. Look at the speed of that. Holy shit. Okay, guys. Now I'm seeing them side by side. Lots of them. Three wide. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. See that? Side by side there. There's another third one, even higher. I can't get it. I'm going to have to turn the tripod around.
And right before going camping on the exact same day of that fast-moving UFO, check it out. Notice that these are real satellites, supposedly, Starlink. Notice the shapes. Notice how long you didn't see them for very long at a big size. They're already getting smaller. Eventually the mirrors will turn away, no longer refracting sunlight. They have energy in them, the fuel for them to rise. It takes long for satellites to separate. It takes long enough for them to rise in height. So when you see a UFO very large, low in the sky, like I'm showing here, and it comes close to me and it's flashing and you can see its shape, it's really different as for characteristics with the satellites and the UFOs. They have unique characteristics and features, each of them. You want to share the research? Please take a look at the playlist of shorts or the short section of hundreds of research videos, the rarest you'll ever see on any social media platform. So there are a few things on the moon that have never been seen before and or shown to the public. I'm pretty sure there's been some captures. Some people have shown UFOs on the moon, but they all have different characteristics, right? Ufologists study these captures, sightings, when they record them to try to locate similarities in other sightings and captures to be able to detect and find out whether they are foreign entities, foreign adversarial countries, or something extraterrestrial. They analyze all this data. So it takes several captures of the same type with similarities of these same captures and events. If not, it's put into a black box and forgotten. On the surface of the moon, coming out of the dark craters, we see something incredible, and it's a UFO being shot at. And I've also shown UFOs shooting out themselves, right? So UFOs that are shooting on the moon, there's UFOs that are being shot at on the moon. When I say shot at, we see a projectile of light that goes to the craft, or light, unknown phenomena, and we see that, what you're looking at right now, as the fire appears on the surface. Microgravity, they say no fire, and that's not high off the surface. This is into the hazes of the surface of the moon. So we have UFOs getting shot at, right? So it's a really scary thing, thinking that there could be a war up there on the moon, either still fluently active or not, or maybe over the years there's been several or many of them. This one in particular is a very scary one. You could imagine it is so hard to be able to show a UFO shooting out something at other creatures that are under hazes on the moon. just that sounds ridiculous, right? Back it up and say, what did he just say? No way did he just say that a UFO, well, you're looking at it visually and you can see what's happening. So it's not, every time I see this, my heart pitter patters. I say, holy shit. Yeah, I know why they're blocking me for sure. And the view of this is exceptional. We get to see in the hazes. Don't forget, that's literally what we're looking through. Hazes. So this research, when the UFO reports came out and I saw that I dipped down to 0, no more subscribers, there always was an attack, but it gets to the point where, yeah, look what I'm showing. There's more than one UFO too. There are thousands of them around the moon. NASA lied through their teeth. They're exposed. And you can now, the researchers that are researching the moon, that have been researching the moon for 30 effing years to 50 years, are telling us bullshit about the moon, okay? Nobody's showing that, and I'm not saying that to vent. I'm saying that because it's very important that we start opening our eyes. We can even see the shape and form of those vehicles. Gary McKinnon was able to, badass guy, love the guy, okay, showing what NASA had, entering their computers, actually telling them, trying to help them to tell them that their system was not strong enough, okay? He said it himself. He had made a mistake doing so. But in reality, why are we here? Why are we here on Earth? He was young. Gary McKinnon used to believe and ask his mom, is Noah's Ark a UFO or a spaceship? I used to ask my mom if God was a woman, if God was a wizard. I mean, for me, it's fascinating. It always has been fascinating to me. But I'm not able to show the vehicles probably as close as what Gary saw, but at least there's confirmation for no matter who wants to know it that, yeah, they're up there on the moon. So much to talk about in the research. There's so much moon footage to watch, and there's the UFOs here in the back of my own yard. I take the time to go over these videos. This video for me is still astonishing, and it should be for all of you too, because you have a real UFO that's in the atmosphere, and that it's not that hard to be able to show it. Halloween night at midnight. That's right. So it's actually the next minute of the next day, right? Midnight, Halloween. I mean, this is what came down out of the sky. So other people in the UFO reports, Jeremy Corbell that was talking about this for the first time, that he only showed an image of his that was taken with a heat signature camera. This one was taken with an infrared camera, and we see a change in the shape and form inside. So it's a what? A UFO? Yeah, a craft? Who knows? It doesn't look physical, yet it does. Now back over to the moon. You don't have to be a genius to understand that it's extremely hard to be able to see through the hazes and in the darkness inside of the craters. But I brought the exposure down, and look. Do you see that? Those are lights, smaller lights that are on the surface. And aside from that, this magnificent structure that is sinus iridium. The mountain itself has these beautiful, mysterious connections and descending levels that possibly could go into the ground of the moon. For me, it's been life-changing. It's been astonishing. Here's another UFO shooting something out. Do you understand that I've caught it more than once? And that's what I'm trying to do, like any ufologist or researcher would do, is to try to document the several similarities in some of these events. Because, yeah, that's right. Most of the events that ufologists, it's not even ufologists filming this, by the way. Ufologists usually talk about captures, but they're not the ones doing it. I don't know many that do it themselves. But there are not only UFOs and debris and strange phenomena flying around the moon. Could there be living organisms? They wouldn't be very small. Here's one entering a crater. I was able to capture it entering a crater. Hey guys, you must have an idea on how hard it was to be able to see this. These objects are 1 mile to 3 miles wide. It's leaving a trail in the smoke and hazes it's traveling in. It could be a living organism. It's definitely not debris as it's slowing down and changing directions. So you see all the different captures. You got what looks like a war. You got things that look like debris. You got things that look like phenomena and things that look like these living creatures. And what's this? A lot of you have been recently talking to me about Gary Nolan. I spoke about Gary Nolan many a times. Gary Nolan himself mentioned that for a UFO to propel itself like we see from the ocean into space and back in a flash, it would take the amount of power that all the nuclear power plants around the world produce. And that came out of his mouth himself. Look at all the instances of me capturing all these different types of objects and events. These very concerning. They're lifting up off of the surface. They're hiding in the light and hazes on the surface. And yeah, they could definitely, possibly be coming out from the inside of the moon. I actually have video of one leaving an interior slit, which that slit would be 3 to 4 miles wide, and that they're coming out like military people on the moon. They are an intelligent race, that's for sure. This is just above the supposed Apollo 11 landing. So you see, if they're not showing the hazes and they're not showing the UFOs taking off like this, I mean, what a bunch of bullshit that they're telling everyone, you know? That's why this research is definitely important. They're all over the moon. NASA's been exposed, that's for sure. Don't forget, the alien retrieval program is also exposed. It's just that they have enough money, the elites, to hold everything off. A lot of deaths on the side of the elites happening. There's a lot of loopholes, and there's an interagency battle going on right now on that end, and I'm happy for it. A military coup is going to happen. I see it. I feel it. Oh yeah, Canada, US, and this while Russian warships and submarines right now were seen 66 miles off the coast of Florida at night, last night, on their way to Cuba. Lots going on right now. When this truth comes out about what's on the moon and everything that I've been filming, and the alien retrieval, David Grush, you know, all the 50 plus whistleblowers, when it all comes out, it's going to be incredible, guys. We are living in times of revelations, and I guarantee you, we're definitely going to see some truth. There's a UFO disappearing on the surface. It's just sitting there producing smoke, right? And then whoop, poof, it disappears, and then that smoke settles down, and we see them moving around. So when it takes off on the surface, check it out, it disappears. It blends in with the surface because it has the same reflectivity as the surface. Maybe the blinding light we see on the moon is absolutely deliberately made to hide the surface, or they're using the natural light around the unnatural moon, right? Listen, if it's a spaceship, there's got to be some manipulation with the moon, considering our moon, if you do a little bit of research, just a little bit of research, the moon that we have, the supposed natural satellite, is like no other moons in the solar system. And here's one on the moon igniting itself as I'm panning across the moon. They take off, and they take off really fast, and then they become invisible. Is it a phenomena? Is it electricity, guys, that we're actually seeing coming from the moon? That's also something fascinating. That's very wide. It's about 3 miles wide, this light. It's a beam of light right now, energy on the moon. And then you can see the field of energy around it, and then it just, poof, dims out and takes off, and you see the smoke left over afterwards leaving, which, again, astonishes me and, gives me chills. So we'll finish there. Lots of connections and lines, all these pipes, the smoking system. You got to check out my video of the smoking system on the moon. Pretty sure they're smoking shit up there. And I don't think it's meat. Bye for now, everyone. Flying high above the lunar clouds, we could see objects that most definitely, some hopefully would be debris. Not just all UFOs and or living creatures or light beings and whatnot. There's another one. So you see how some are closer to the surface, they're going to look more faint, and they're going to look smaller because it's the depth of field. That one that we're seeing to the right is closer to me, even though it still is on the moon, as compared to the one on the left. Lights shooting on the surface of the moon, turning itself. Another amazing capture. Watch the light turn its nose and beam out, light up and beam out projectiles, shooting lights across the moon. And I even got some explosions. So what the hell do you think is going on up there if we're seeing projectiles and lights and all this stuff going on? If NASA says that there's absolutely nothing up there, like Most of the astronauts do, even though there's a couple of them that mentioned about UFOs being on the side of the craters. I'm not interested about stories. I want facts. Paul Sabo, Pat Gassar, Darla Lama, Ruth Kelly, everyone who contributed, gifting out the memberships, and every way you have, Kristen Kruger, Michelle Preston. Thank you so much for the generous contributions, everyone. Thank you, Eric Dubé. Merci pour tout.
Aliens on the moon. When are they going to tell the world? Come on, Pentagon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. And they're mining. They're mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon.
Thank you very much for the support to this channel. Everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter, cause disclosure's coming soon.